Hello guys, so I'm going to show you how to cut a kaftan from the beginning till the end, the Vinci's style. Alright, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Let us begin. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is to draw a line. And this at this point where the top is usually not straight. So you draw a straight line that is not bent to the left or to the right. Right, and then you measure the shoulder divided by 2, and then on that point you go down by 2.5. And then connect that 2.5 to the beginning of the line, and this is how to get a perfect slant for your shoulder. Okay, then from that point around there you measure the full length of the kaftan. The full length, this is a very long kaftan, so it was out of the frame of this video. So after that you just go ahead and cut exactly how you fold it, and to get the right folding you divide the chest by 4 and then you add 2 inches. That's how to get the right folding, so that you don't go and waste and overfold or underfold. So divide the chest by 2 and add 2 inches. That's how to fold. Okay, then you fold again to cut the back pattern. Remember, iron properly. You can see I'm ironing. Ironing is very, very important when it comes to drafting. It's very, very important. So after that you put the front over it. You can see that, and then you measure. You also cut that slant on from the back front pattern. Cut that same slant to the back pattern. Transfer the slant to the back pattern like so, and then you cut it out. And then the side also you cut it out, which is the same. Should be the same with the front. That's the shoulder divided by 4, and then you add 2 inches. Okay, so mind you, it's just the side I cut. I didn't cut the down, it's just the side. The down is still together with the rest of the fabric. I hope you understand what I mean. So you just bring back the front pattern, and on the back pattern you mark 4.5, and then you rule a line. So you drag back this part and take it back to that 4.5 mark, and then on the front pattern now you mark 1 inch. This 1 inch is the seam allowance of both the front and the back. By the time you sew them together, when you are joining the front and the back, you are joining by ½ inch. Half plus half, that's 1. This is why this place is 1, not half. If you are using half, then your seam allowance should be 1/4. You get it? Now after this, you arrange your fabric. Now you can cut it down after you've done this. Sorry, this is out of frame. Now you can see what I'm doing now. That out of the frame, I'm cutting it. You see, I've cut the back. The down, I mean. So you iron it properly. Iron it properly. And then now you are going to start the actual measurement. Now divide the shoulder by 2, and then you add ½ inch, and then you bring the measurement down and rule a line like this. Now on this part, you are going to measure your bicep measurement. You are going to measure your bicep measurement. Divide by 2, and then you add 1 or 1.5 or half, depending on how fitted you want the sleeve to be. On this part, you mark 7 inches or 8 inches. Mark 7 inches to get the hip line, and then this is the vent line. So I'm going to write all this so that you get the points. So this is the chest line, this is the tummy line, this is the hip line, and then this is the vent line. Now this also is the pocket. This is where the pocket starts. If you are putting side pocket, this tummy line is where the pocket starts. This other side is the hip line where the pocket ends. So between the tummy line and the hip line is where the pocket entrance is, and this is how the pocket is going to be. I hope you understand what I mean. Or just watch it over and over again and you understand. So on this part, the armhole, you divide it by 2. Sorry, get the chest first, divide the armhole by 2, and then go in by 1, and then you rule it. So the chest, you are going to divide it by 4, and then you add 1 inch there. That's what I did in the chest area. Get so now measure the chest. Whatever you get on the chest, subtract half and put it in the tummy. Whatever you get in the chest, add half and put it in the hip. That's how it is. Now you connect, and whatever you get in this hip area, you just maintain it down to the vent. But because this kaftan is really long, the vent is not going to be there. It's going to come down, really, really down. So you cut only the front, as you can see, only the front. Then when you're cutting the back, you leave small space. So let me just draw it. You can see when you're cutting the back, you don't cut it equally with the front. Then you cut every other part equally. Now this part, you are going to maintain it downwards. You can see the vent I passed it because this is a really, really long kaftan. But if it was a short kaftan, I'll stop at that vent area. You can see how I stopped here. You get. That's why I just brought it down. Now to cut the neck, I'm just going to cut it this way and adjust it until I get what I need. So I'll notch this point so that when I'm sewing, I'll know the point where I should stop. Alright, so now to get the neck, I'm just going to mark maybe 4.5 by 2, and then I'll measure until I and keep adjusting until I get what I'm looking for. I have a video on my YouTube channel that explains the amount to put when you're looking for 16, 17, 16 and a half, 18, and like that. So I'll have a go to my YouTube channel and check it, you see it. You can see I'm adjusting it. If you don't have that formula that's on my YouTube channel, you have to be adjusting until you get the accurate neck you are looking for. Like me, that's the method I used here. I was adjusting until I got what I was looking for. So this is how to cut your kaftan, and then you measure this armhole. Whatever you get, in this case I got 11.25. You just keep it somewhere, and then you are going to fold into 4, and so that you cut your sleeve. The reason why we're folding into 4, so we can cut both left and right sleeve at the same time. You can fold into 2 and cut one sleeve, then fold into 2 again and cut another sleeve, but that's really stressful. Just fold into 4 and cut both sleeves at the same time. So fold it this way and rule your line. Then carry your mark 5 inches here, and then down here you mark 2.5. This 2.5 varies depending on if the measurement is big, you increase it to 3, or this is 2.5. So you connect this way. If you halfway, you turn and you do this. This is how to get the armhole curve for the sleeve. So for the length of the sleeve, you mark it and add ½ inch for seam allowance of the armhole to the bodies, and then you add few inches for that. Then you this is the ½ inch for seam allowance, and then you add few inches for folding because this is a free hand. It doesn't have wristband. That's how it's like this. So that 1.25 you measured on the armhole, you transfer it here, and then you mark it. You see that? So when you are fixing it, it's not going to be much. So you cut it straight first of all, and then when you bend this place, you can now shape it to the size you want. You get the point. So you measure the amount of the wrist here, and then you connect it to the 11.5. That's all. So if you are watching this video on Facebook or TikTok or on my YouTube, make sure you follow me and you subscribe. See you in another video. Have a great day.